So, Cult of the Lamb was initially released in 2022 by Massive Monster on various platforms like the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and even PC. The game was met with various mixed reviews upon its first release, which makes for a good laugh if nothing else. I initially got this game for my Nintendo Switch with its first release, but I very quickly got another copy from PC, mainly because with its first release, it was glitchy like hell. Not only was I facing constant bugs and glitches like the lamb or one of the followers glitching out of the screen, the game was also constantly crashing on me, and it lagged to the point that I was worried the game might crash at any minute. The PC version at that time wasn't much better. Thankfully, the developers very quickly rolled out game patches and fixes and patched most of the problems. As of this video, the game is running a lot smoother. The plot of Cult of the Lamb is a pretty unusual one. You essentially play as a cultist. You play as a lamb character, who being the last of your kind was all set to be sacrificed upon the altar of the four bishops, but for reasons unknown was rescued by the one who waits and is essentially brought back to life to act as his champion and to also defeat the four bishops and free the one who waits from his chains. For a game with a semi-dark plot, the game is much cuter than it seems, with an extremely appealing art style and easy combat controls. You essentially keep your cult running by recruiting followers, since no followers equals to no cult and you get a game over instantly if you have no followers left. You also have to keep your followers happy by cooking for them and cleaning up after them, and also making sure that they have a place to sleep at night. In return, your followers imbue you with power, and you can also set them to work at the lumber yard and even the mines. Trust me, you need a lot of wood and stone for decorations and essentials that you want to build. Though honestly, the cult sometimes reminds me of a group of toddlers, as it is like they will die if I just leave them alone for a second. You can also run sermons once a day that will bring the loyalty of your followers up. Once your faith goes up to a certain level, you can even issue doctrines. Doctrines are essentially similar to orders in which you can make a follower your tax enforcer by having them go around collecting coins from your other followers. That is useful in early game when you are constantly running out of money. You can even sacrifice a follower to increase your power and even revive a dead follower, which, to be honest, is normally the doctrine that I pick and it is more useful in the long run. Followers too can age and become elders, and once they become elders, they can no longer do any work in the cult. I normally use an elder as a sacrifice for the sacrifice follower doctrine and then revive them again. Followers too can die if they become too old or even add the wrong type of food. Having a dead body lying somewhere in your cult can bring the hygiene level down and even the faith level of your cult, so watch out. I mainly spend the first couple of in-game days in my cult, making sure that my followers can sustain themselves for a few hours while I'm not around. Be careful not to let your followers' faith drop too much, however, as they can descend and may even cause some of your other followers to follow in their shoes. If you already have a Joe Xiao build, you can send the descending follower there and re-educate them into being good little followers once more. Hey, your cult is on you, your rules goes, no worries. The combat in the game is also pretty straightforward. You delve into dungeons which are separated into different rooms, and you are given 2 weapons at the start of the dungeon. Followers are recruited by either rescuing them in dungeons or even paying the spider guy just outside your cult to buy a new follower. A recent patch by the developers have added lots of new content and weapons to the game, and had also fixed most of the glitches and bugs that have occurred. I enjoyed the game a lot more when I started a new run after the major patch. Your cult and the dungeons aren't the only places where you can explore, however. As you explore dungeons, you will occasionally meet new people that can set up shop in various places on the map, like the fisherman guy that is honestly one of the more useful people I met in early game when I was struggling to feed my cult. In the early days, I fed my cult making food with nothing but fish and berries. Sorry little guys. Overall, Cult of the Lamb is one of the more enjoyable indie games, and you can easily sink hundreds of hours into it with just the crafting aspect alone. It is also one of the more relaxing games I played, surprisingly, considering there is actually combat in the game. If you like this video, do like and subscribe to my channel. And I would also appreciate it if you can support me via my Buy Me a Coffee page. The link is in the description below. See you next video!